Welcome in our man, Dave A.K.
Hey, now, what's going on in here?
Sure, thank you, Dave. I was wowing people at the beach this weekend with your Bewitched factoid that he gave me.
Is that all I had to offer for beach weekend?
Oh, I gave it early. I was like, I heard a little something about Bewitched that you're going to love.
Everybody's talking about it.
People came clamoring from both sides of, from east and west, and north and south, and wanted to hear the Bewitched factoid on the beach.
The question I have is, what was the conversation before and after that?
None leading in. I opened with
it. Just the waves, and somebody had, and it was the silence, and you wanted to break it.
I said, "Guess what about Bewitched?" Now remember, I had an edible.
Well, that'll take you there.
Okay,
that'll take you there.
All right. Recall. Here's the Bewitched factoid. Okay, this is a 65-year-old television show starring Elizabeth Montgomery, who was fantastic.
Chris Demm was the only one alive when it was on.
That's right. That's right. I saw it in reruns only. Okay. They've made a movie. Will Ferrell made a movie with it about even that.
I've never seen it. I've only seen the TV show.
I've heard bad things about it.
I have too. And that's about 12, 15 years old. Nonetheless, the first Darren on Bewitched was more liked, I think, than the second Darren. They changed midstream.
I think history looks at him as the real Darren.
I do too. And I don't even really know how long each was on, but both were, first it was Dick York, then it was Dick Sargent who played Darren. And I mean, I liked both, but the first one was better. And I agree with you that people look at him as the real Darren. Well, Dave Aiken gave me a factoid, and I'm not going to share it with you.
Good. Neither am I.
No, it was about...
I'll need an edible.
Right.
Yeah, first things first.
Dave.
Does anyone have an edible?
Did you bring in an edible?
I don't keep those things.
I can give you a great...
I get you a drink.
He left the show, and the show was incredibly successful. He left it because he kept hitting on Elizabeth Montgomery and saying he was in love with her, and he made her so uncomfortable. Finally, she said, he's got to go. And I didn't realize that.
He was also sick. I mean, he had he was in a car accident, some sort of an accident. He had really bad back issues, and he was delaying tapings and all this stuff. But he was madly in love with Elizabeth Montgomery.
And she was married, right?
Yeah, she was married to the producer.
That's what I thought.
The executive producer and creator, I think, of that show.
What a scandal. What a scandal that would be today if somebody on a really big hit TV show was like in love with the co-star, so the co-star said he's got to go.
It's so old. I mean, there are audio tapes out there now of him just saying, Elizabeth, Liz, I love you so much.
Really?
I love you.
Were these offset? Were these phone calls? Where were these tapes?
I don't know. He recorded them.
Yeah.
Either from his hospital bed or he died fairly early with his sickness. I don't know if he got cancer later or not. But yeah, I mean, he recorded all kinds of stuff. And,
wow.
And she didn't want him there. She said, I cannot stand this guy. He's constantly.
Man.
And they said, well, we're not getting rid of him.
Imagine being
eventually they did.
It was a very uncomfortable workplace, I mean, Biggie's uncomfortable all the time.
Yeah.
Imagine.
If you're that uncomfortable in the workplace, just imagine something like that happening.
And in Dora, the actress, she said, don't get rid of him. Don't get rid of him. The
he's
show
so
will
good.
be over. He's so good.
Yeah, he was great.
And they did. And I think the show might have lasted another season or two.
Now, I thought the second Darren was Dick Sargent. I thought he was on for like almost as long as the first, or as long.
Maybe he was, but I thought he was only on for a couple seasons.
I'll research it.
Was the baby part of first Darren or second Darren?
First.
Okay,
yeah.
She's on the gram.
Tabitha. Oh, she is. You follow her on Instagram.
That's right.
Of course you do.
Dave.
Of course you do, Dave.
What?
She's all grows up now, isn't she?
She's grows up and she's grows up.
She likes things I post.
She's in her 60s.
She's not. She's our age.
What a claim to fame. I was a baby on Bewitched. I should follow you on Instagram.
I think that's all she's got.
There's only one person following you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Dave.
Damn right.
Who's this guy following?
Yeah.
Did you see that Lane Kiffin, this broke while we were on vacation, the football coach, he's coach of Tennessee, am I right?
No.
Where's Lane? Mississippi.
Mississippi.
He's Ole Miss.
Yeah.
He was on.
He unfollowed everybody
except Arch Manning, who is Peyton and Eli Manning's nephew.
Who's a junior in high school?
I think he's sophomore. I think he's a sophomore in high school, but it's supposed to be such a phenom that the coach for Ole Miss, where his grandfather went, Archie Manning, went to school there, and Eli went to school there, has unfollowed everyone
on the planet.
Yes, he's following one per Arch Manning.
Okay.
seems a bit desperate.
Well, that's what is it a great ploy to get him there, or is it desperation, to try to get him there?
Well, I mean, if you got to stand out from the crowd.
I thought it was, when I saw it, I thought, okay, that's clever.
Yeah.
But then I did hear a lot of people saying how
you're a grown man.
It's desperate. The story that stuck with Biggie most yesterday, and I want to apologize in advance, there's some deviant sexuality in this hour of this program.
Good.
Is it different?
We just had some. Bewitched, like I'm not hard.
Made me sit through all day yesterday with no sexual deviancy. Holy smokes.
Well, a couple of things coming up. First of all, Chris Demm's got a story about a guy in a hotel parking lot doing things like you wouldn't believe. And then secondly, I read something about Mormons. Now, Mormons do not have sex before marriage. Very serious about that, correct?
Well, there's plenty of, the Catholics would tell you that too.
Right.
And
Yes,
but
but
the whole list.
The Mormons stick.
Yeah, they
much
really
harder than the Catholics.
And they marry very young, I think, because of that. Am I just putting that together, or is that? I think they do.
I've heard that before.
So there's these college students at BYU. Somebody tweeted about or did a TikTok about the get around to actually have sex before you're married. And I read it and thought, could this possibly be true? Even I was like, what is this? And it's deviant. It's
deviant.
I don't know. It's just
a workaround.
It's a workaround. It's weird. It's just like, what is this? We'll get to it in moments. But the story,
is it over the clothes masturbation?
No, it is not. Although they frown on that also. There's a lot of over the clothes, under the clothes rules.
What about dry runs?
Oh no. This is full on. Can't say.
I can't say.
Okay,
just wait for it.
We got a special Mormon segment.
Wait for it.
Wake your Mormon friends. Oh, they're up already.
I read it. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, what? How in the world would you, and why in the world would you do something like this? But a Mormon college student from BYU TikToked about it.
May have blown the lid off this.
Yeah, and like 25 million people tagged it or whatever. I mean, she really, apparently it's the first that people are talking about it now. I'll tell you what it is coming up. Now, this is what stuck with Biggie yesterday. Mom in Texas went to the school board meeting.
Is there Carabelle?
Carabelle is her name. And she was very upset about a book that was on the shelves of her kids' middle school that taught about sexual behavior.
Well, they didn't teach. It was a young adult novel.
That's
but
right.
It mentions it.
It mentions it on page 39. And she reads page 39.
Take her out back, we boys figured, then hand on the titties. Put it in her coin box, put it in her cornhole, grab that braid, calico. You can find that on page 39 of the book called Out of Darkness, which you can find at Hudson Bend Middle School and Bee Cave Middle School. All right, not gonna lie, I had to Google cornhole because I have the game in the back of my yard. But according to Wikipedia, cornhole is a sexualist slang vulgarism for anus. The term came into the use in the 1910s in the United States as verb form to cornhole, which came into usage in the 1930s, means to have anal sex.
Right, so
I do not.
They're beeping her there.
Beep, beep.
That
means you're done.
That means you're
Time's
done.
up, time's up.
Time is up. Once she started going there, like
To have
Miss
anal.
Bell,
Beep, 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 beep,
Miss
beep.
Bell, Miss Bell.
More
Wrap her up, wrap her up, wrap her up.
My children to learn about anal sex in middle school. I have never had anal sex. I don't want to have anal sex. I don't want my kids having anal sex.
Please.
I want you to start focusing on education and.
Now they're going to cut her mic. Okay. Now Barb Stone has been called. She's next. Barb Stone is the next speaker.
Not public health.
Stone, you're on.
Officials, you are supposed to be educating our children. Do
Bell,
not
thank you.
teach them about anal
Ms. Bell.
sex.
Thank you, Ms. Bell.
Ms. Stone. I'd like to have a fall carnival. I mean, a good one with like really good rides.
Rides and a cakewalk.
I don't have anything to say about anal sex, but who doesn't love a caramel apple?
This is strange, but I would like to put permission to put the school's logo on my cornhole boards.
I'd follow up.
Miss Stone, your rebuttal to anal sex.
Badly placed. Badly placed, if that's what she wanted to do. I'll pass and wait for next week's.
I waive my time.
This meeting's over.
Meeting adjourned forever.
Really? I mean, that's what they should have done. Bang the gavel, be done with it. It's over. We mentioned it yesterday. They have taken the book off of every
Correct.
section.
Yeah.
The book is gone now.
From the middle school libraries. I don't know about high school.
She won.
Well, because there was a run on the book.
What
page 39. Hey. You're right. It says right here, cornhole.
Take her out back, slap.
She won. She won her fight.
Yeah.
Good for her. She had to get down and do it. Biggie is, of course, most concerned about her husband, who was also sitting in the audience. Going,
Oh, God.
Trying to read the paper.
I've never had anal sex. You didn't have to. You could have left that part out of it.
Health report. Nestle has recalled DiGiorno pizza nationwide following a customer complaint. This is the recall.
We probably have some DiGiornos.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good brand.
We alternate between them and Paul Newman.
Oh.
I prefer Paul Newman. It's great. I can't find them in all the stores, Paul Newman. I also like DiGiorno. And Red Baron is pretty good on a budget. No, Red Baron. Red Baron. If you're on a budget, you get a Red Baron in there. It's pretty good. And that Food Lion Mexican pizza.
Is your son still
liking that?
Yeah. Does he?
Great pizza. Yeah, really good. A Food Lion Mexican pizza.
That's what you said.
This is DiGiorno. They have recalled 14 tons of frozen DiGiorno crispy pan crust pepperoni pizza because of a misbranding and an undeclared allergen in the pizza. Apparently what has happened is there is your pepperoni pizza carton may contain frozen 3-meat pizza, a different kind of pizza.
Bonus!
Well, in addition to the other meats, it also has soy protein, which could cause severe allergy.
If you have a soy allergy.
Yeah, if you have a soy allergy, it could cause a problem.
Does that mean that DiGiorno is doing like meatless meat? Isn't that what a soy protein is?
Well, it might be, because I was thinking it would be in the crust, but the crust should be the same on all of them, shouldn't it? Maybe it is. Maybe that's.
I don't know.
It'd have to be cheese free too, yeah.
Says the.
Look, there could be soy thrown into a lot of things, though.
Oh,
Just
yeah?
as a filler or something.
So you're thinking the pepperoni is pepperoni, but the other meats have soy in them.
Yeah,
and
they
therefore,
might mix in, yeah.
So if you eat it by accident and you have a soy allergy.
Well, if you read it's like a box, it'll say like our sausage is made of, pork, beef, chicken. So.
Oh, it's not actual, just pork.
Yeah.
Rarely.
Pork sausage.
Yeah, and it's always.
Certainly not Red Baron.
Well, I thought Red Baron.
No,
Red Baron's
yeah.
a pretty good product.
Yeah.
You're lucky to get pork.
Would you, Biggie, give me your thoughts on Red Baron.
Oh, I like a Red Baron. It's not my favorite. I don't think I've ever had a Paul Newman. I should try that.
They're really good. They're
Yeah.
slightly smaller than others.
I think a very underrated one, a budget one, is a Tombstone. Can't find them at every store, but I love a Tombstone.
Yes.
Where's Freshetta?
That's pricey.
It's a higher.
Yeah.
It's a higher price.
We haven't had those in a while.
A Freshetta.
Too doughy.
The Frechetta's too doughy for you?
Maybe they make thin ones, but the ones I've had have pretty thick crust.
That's what I like
didn't
about
care
Paul
for.
Newman. Paul Newman is very
Like a
crispy.
thinner crust.
And it's not the same, but we've talked about this before. The Stouffer's French bread pizzas
Yes.
changed my life in my teenage
Yeah,
years.
those are good. I agree.
I still think hands down a Totino's.
I tell you what, after a night of drinking,
Yes.
Tortinos?
a Totino's that's gotten a little extra crispy because you forgot about it in the oven. Oh, it's good to you.
You've been there.
Open the window so the fire alarm doesn't go off.
Yes.
Yeah. Now,
99-cent.
they're one you got to really read the packaging.
Right. Yeah.
I don't even think their pepperoni contains pork.
Yeah, in fact, it says take the pepperoni off.
If at all possible, take this
Not
off.
edible.
That's right.
But it looked good on the packaging.
The frozen pepperoni pizza carton contains the different pizza. The products were produced on June 30th. The Best By date is March of next year. So you have a good long time. And people think, DiGiorno says, we got 14 tons of it on the street. We can't account for it.
How much frozen pizza are we consuming?
My God.
Think about how much is in one store.
A lot, apparently.
And how long did it take for them to catch that mistake?
Well, one person
Like, how
called.
many boxes did Rob box up before?
One person called and said, hey, I just opened
got
my
3
pepper-
meats?
Yeah, I got 3 meats at pepperoni, which he thought was just like, oh, innocent mistake, wanted to let you know. And then they said, oh, wait a minute, soy allergy. But no one's come forward with the allergy yet. So they're
I
trying
don't think
they're getting ahead of it.
I suppose it's possible. I don't know that I've heard of anyone having a soy allergy.
Well, it must be a thing.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it is. I just, when you hear about so many other allergies, I don't hear much about those.
I mean, isn't that what vegans replace meat
eat a lot of soy.
cheese with?
Yeah.
Yeah. A McDonald's customer has asked, this is about health as well, has asked a worker be fired, and she has been fired because according to, this was in Toronto, according to the McDonald's worker, the customer was rude, and the McDonald's worker went on TikTok and showed what she did to combat the customer's rudeness. The woman had ordered a McFlurry, and it was supposed to have caramel on top, but instead of caramel, the McDonald's worker took it to the back and loaded it up with their sweet and sour sauce for the nuggets. Brilliant. Because it looks the exact same.
Does it?
Yeah, very similar. I saw the picture of it. It looks very...
I love it. God. Are you kidding? The sweet and sour looks like caramel?
It does. It's that color.
Oh, let me go put the caramel on. It's in the back.
That's what the girl did. Teenager. Put it on and said, enjoy your McFlurry. Well, the woman got into her car and started eating it.
Wait a minute.
She said, I have an allergy.
A sweet and sour allergy?
Yeah. Well,
Asian allergy?
They fired her, but the girl who put it on TikTok went back on there and said, worth it. Worth being fired. You know, I've been treated so badly by so many people that I'm fine getting fired for this. So she is now out of a job. But as Biggie said, she got the ultimate revenge, didn't she?
I love it.
I mean, did beautifully on that.